Well, as we had promised that we are delighted to have in this mock polling station representative from the IEBC, Amina Suud, a manager on voter education, and she has made time to come and be with us here so that she can walk us through. We have done this on 2 or 3 occasions, but it's always just good to make sure that we get all the fine detail, a refresher of sorts. So we have some time that has been allocated to us, and I'll try and maximize on that a short time that has been given to us. So asante sana for finding time to come and be with us. So I would just like us to start by you walking us through this mock simulation. The last voter, ule wa mwisho kabisa, all right? And I think you had identified, is it Esther?
Yeah.
So I'd ask her to walk into the shot and then quickly just walk us through.
Okay.
All right? So that we cover so much ground within this short time that has been allocated. So there is Esther.
Yeah.
So over to you now.
Thank you very much. Esther has come in as the last voter. And what she's supposed to be done to, first of all, to check all the fingers if she has voted before. And that will be shown by the mark. Now we've realized that she's not voted, and then she gives her identity card, which is used during registration.
During registration?
During registration. You use the documents that you use during registration.
There's some people who even use documents like passport. Alafu passport in Arabica, it's defaced. What happens?
Not only is it defaced, but it can also reduce its value. Okay. So if it's invalid, then you have to come with the one that is invalid and the new one that you've made.
Okay.
So we check you with the invalid passport, but we have to see your valid passport going with it.
How do you do that? You have the database on the KIMS kit?
Yeah. Because with the KIMS kit, you cannot be shown by any other document except the one you used during registration.
For registration?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they will check the ID, and then first of all they look to make sure that it is her, and then they use her biometrics to check if she's in the data. And the KIMS kit is especially for this. It's unique to the polling station.
Okay.
So we'll check and make sure that she is in the polling station. And if she's not, the KIMS kit will announce, because it will make a sound to show that she's not from that polling station. And also it will make a sound if she's already voted. So
it has been set up in such a way that you cannot use it in a different polling station.
Okay. We have a special QR code for each polling station. Yeah. And then from there, the clerk will give the ID to the owner, to Esther now, and then she'll be directed to go to the second clerk.
Before she goes to the second clerk, remember earlier on we had a story of a very sad one of an accident. In the event that someone has problems with the biodata, the fingers, probably an accident here or there, what happens in such situations? In
such situation, we'll use an alphanumeric. Her alphanumerics will be her ID number or her passport number that she used to register. So we'll put those numbers in the KIMS kit, and we will see her. Okay. Or even her biometrics will come out. Okay. Even her face will come out. Okay. And then from there, she'll be given her ID, and she'll go to the next. The next clerk will give her the 2 ballot papers. For now, because of this drama or skit, we've just kept 2 other clerks. Okay. But normally we'll have 3 clerks. So each clerk will give 2 ballot papers. Okay. We have 6 positions. Yeah. So each 2 clerks, 2 ballot papers, the total will be 6 ballot papers. So when she's given the 6 ballot papers, she will go around to the ballot booth. Yeah. By the way, before she gets to the ballot, because I've noticed something that has been trending a lot on the social media about the stamp that is supposed to appear behind the ballot paper. Comment on that. This is very important. We almost forgot it. The ballot paper has to be stamped. And this I want to remind all Kenyans. Make sure when you come to vote, make sure your ballot paper is stamped at the back. Because if it is not stamped, we will not count it. So the voter also, in the clerk can forget. I'm just trying to be polite. Yeah. You have to think all the ways. Yeah, the voter has to be aware of that. And we've always told them in our voter education sessions, when we talk to them, we always remind them that they have to be sure that their ballot paper is stamped. Because any ballot paper that is not stamped, we don't count it.
So we are reminding them that they have a civic responsibility of looking behind the ballot and ensuring that there has been a stamp. In the event that there is no stamp,
it will not be counted.
It will be called
a rejected vote.
We'll talk about that later.
It will be a rejected vote.
All right. Okay.
So we allow Esther to go and vote. She's checked faster. She goes and votes, and when she votes, she has to be sure she's voting for the person that she needs.
Okay.
If something happens to it and she doesn't get the person she wants, she's allowed to come back.
Oh,
yeah.
She can come back?
Yeah, she can come back and ask me, what happened? Like now, she wants another ballot paper.
What has happened?
Yeah,
what has happened?
She's saying that she doesn't want the ballot paper because it's like she has already voted for the wrong person that she didn't want. So what we do, we give her, we take this and put it in a envelope that is called ballot paper, spoiled ballot papers. And before we do that, there's a spoiled ballot paper envelope. Before we put that, there's somewhere that we say why this thing was spoiled. And this is in the polling station diary. This is called the PSD.
Okay.
In the PSD, we will say why this paper was spoiled.
You're required,
you are required to say,
officer,
to explain the reasons why it was spoiled.
All right.
And then we'll give her another ballot paper. Give her another ballot paper. Faster, faster.
How many times can you do this? How many
Twice
times?
only.
Okay.
You can do it only twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's given another ballot paper. Vote. She'll go back and vote again. Faster, faster. So when she's going to vote, we can explain the way that she's supposed to vote.
Okay.
She is supposed to vote only once. She has to make only once a mark that is, it can be a tick, it can be a cross. But that mark has to be only one and in the right box.
Yeah. At this stage, do you need the presence of the various political party agents?
No, because she's voting alone.
All right,
but if she needs support, maybe she's come with an assistant, she will go alone with the assistant. But if she doesn't have an assistant, but she still wants support from the presiding officer, let's say she's a blind person and she needs an assistant from us, the presiding officer, then when it is only her and the presiding officer, we will need somebody to come and support her. And this time it will be the agents to witness what is going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who else is given preferential treatment within the community? People who are blind, for example, people who don't know what happens, who arrive at the polling station, and they're so intimidated, they don't even know where to start.
Yeah, and even if you're sober, but you just need assistance. Yeah, sometimes you're just scared to vote. There's some people who are very normal, they are very literate, but they're scared to vote. You can't be assisted by the PO. But if you cheat and say that I'm illiterate, we can know from your ID. Because your ID you have signed. If you have signed, it means you know how to use a pen.
That's an indication.
Yeah, you know how to use a pen.
So that also applies to our elderly in society.
Yeah, the elderly, and the most elderly people who are very knowledgeable and they don't want to be supported. But those who need support we'll always do that for them. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after she's marked her ballot paper, she'll come directly and vote. And this time she has to vote. The color of the ballot paper has to be the same as the color of the lead. So for this time it's the presidential, it has to be white, and the ballot paper is to be white. So she'll go straight away and vote.
Oh, so you've standardized?
Yeah.
As we're speaking, it is in record that white is for
presidential. Yeah.
We're not going to get any surprises.
No.
Okay, all right.
So for white is for the presidential.
Okay.
For this kit, we'll just do for the presidential because we want to show the next step.
Okay.
After she has voted, she's casted her vote, she will come to the last clerk, and the clerk will color her small finger.
Don't color it. She needs to.
No, that's why I'm not coloring now. Yeah, we'll just color it. And if she's assisted, if there's somebody who's come to assist her, then we will vote. We'll mark a piece on her. Yeah. That's why we do that, because we reduce the number of people who can come and assist others.
Okay.
There are people who are called professional assistants.
Professional assistants.
We don't want those ones.
A bit similar to the professional monas.
Yeah. And professional kids who are hired. So that you don't want to make a line. Yeah. So you just take a kid. Yeah. This one has a kid, and then you are allowed to go in and vote. So there are professional kids for that, for hire.
Okay,
yeah, we refuse that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a serious process. You need to ensure that, you know. All right.
And then she's allowed to go, because she's the last one.
Yeah.
She's after she has voted and she has been marked, then she's allowed to go home. When she goes home...
How do you feel after voting?
I feel nice. I've voted for the candidate of my choice.
Wow.
Yeah, very happy.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
After she has voted, we are telling people that after their vote, they can go home and relax, because all the media houses, like you said in when you started your bulletin, that all the media houses will be there to take the coverage of everything that will be going on. So they don't have to cluster around the polling stations and making a lot of fujo, you know? So
okay, so you want a very controlled environment. Let me ask you, given the number of candidates, the political party representation inside the polling station, how are you going to manage those crowds? Because there are so many candidates, isn't it?
Yeah, there are so many candidates.
For example, Azimio is a coalition. This is just an example. That's the same way Kenya Kwanza is. And under Azimio, you have various parties.
You parties, almost 26 of them.
We even have, in addition to that, independent candidates.
I know.
And all will want representation
to be inside
that. How do you manage that?
For that, we have agreed with the political parties. They can allow a few. You know, they can agree. They can sit down and agree before they start the election. Because even them, they're human beings. They can see the room. They cannot be there, 100 of them. Yeah. There are some, like a position of MCA. I know of an MCA position that has attracted 33 candidates. 33 candidates. Can